walk with Charlie. So we've had quite a bit of melt here. I would say the majority, like 90%, probably even 95% of the snow is melted. Except for like spots like this where there was like bigger banks and stuff on top that stopped it from melting. Today is Friday, May 13th. And oh no, I don't know what he found. Oh, it's a part of a snake. He was trying to roll on that. Part of a snake. No, Charlie. So, just to put more people at ease about Charlie and I walking, I am bringing my trusty ammunition, since I don't have a license for anything else. Yeah. Anyways, there's been so many changes. Let me think. Because of the snow melting, we are getting bird-sized mosquitoes. That started pretty much last weekend. So it's been about, I'm sorry, I forgot to bring my stick. And he's pulling me like crazy. You can hear the woodpecker in the back. Yeah, so the mosquitoes are out. I wouldn't say in full force, because I suspect they get much worse, but I was not expecting them. Sorry, oh, there's a lynx. I don't know if you can see it in the distance there. Charlie, stop. That's as close as I can get. Sorry, I'm shaky because I was running. Right beside the hydro pole. Can you see it walking? That's a lynx. I'll just keep an eye. Sorry guys, I don't mean to be distracted, but as you all say, there's wilderness. There's wild animals here, and there is a lynx just kind of watching us right now. It's not coming, so we are heading back because we don't want to go there. Anyways, I saw my first moose, and you guys just saw that I saw my first lynx. Just trying to keep an eye. It's still kind of sitting there, but it's staying there. Anyways, I'm sure that it doesn't want to quarrel with a dog either, so cats don't usually get along too well with dogs. I saw my first moose. It was just a young moose. It looked like a yearling possibly. And unfortunately the next day there was a lot of blood on the highway exactly where I saw it. So I won't see that moose again. And then I was told by a customer that the female, the mom, was killed a couple weeks ago. So unfortunately, that's what happens, right? So it was out by the highway looking for its mom, where the mom was killed, and it ended up being killed too. And this highway it's not the most safe highway, unfortunately. Trucks just drive crazy. And all you truckers out there that have driven up here, you know what I'm talking about, because the majority of the people I know that drive truck are responsible drivers. They don't drive like that. There's another sound. The bird. What sound now? I think it's a grouse. Anyways. Well, that was eventful. Just as I pulled out my ammunition. Good thing. And I mean, that's, if you notice that I'm distracted, it is because I'm trying to keep an eye out. We saw deer tracks the last time, which obviously I'm not afraid of a deer unless it's a buck or a mama with a baby. But any mama with a baby is going to defend its babies. It doesn't matter what it is. So I need to be alert. But guys, like, I don't have the ability to go to the gym, and I don't have the ability to hook up a treadmill anymore. So I also need to exercise Charlie, and we like to do that together. And otherwise I could get a jump rope, which I probably still will, and do some extra stuff. And I could always do like kind of like the perimeter of our property that's cleared, but I mean, that's boring. And as long as I stay smart, and I can hear Rue all the way from here. Anyways, I'm trying to think what else is new. The weather, obviously. I'm wearing a tank top, and I wish I was wearing shorts. It's 20 degrees here, but there's a bit of a cool breeze, but it's gorgeous. Like 20 degrees feels like 25, 26 back home, which is my ideal weather. I love that temperature. So, but if that's what this is in May, and people say, oh, it doesn't get hot here. The other day on Tuesday, when we were picking up our chickens, oh man, I was sweating buckets. It's so hot in Thunder Bay. Yeah, anyways, we're pretty much back home. That's home. I had to shut it down because the highway was too loud. I saw a video of a lady in, I believe it was in British Columbia. She came across a lynx on a trail, and she started singing. Well, first she was really polite and, go home, little guy, turn around, leave me alone, or something. And then she started singing Metallica, and the thing actually turned around and left her alone. So if I don't have my bear spray with me, I guess I can start singing Metallica, and hopefully it'll go away. So correction on that, actually it was a cougar, not a lynx. And she played Metallica on her phone, not sang it. So just want to clarify that. But it went viral, so you guys could look it up. She was from British Columbia.
All right, well, it's Sunday. And we're just picking up some straw from just outside of Thunder Bay with a new trailer. So I'm going to be able to fit 3 layers of 27 bales. So as you see, we're pulling with a Toyota Corolla. This is a 5x10 trailer, so I really can't be going too much over 29 bales, I believe, is the weight. So we're gonna go 3 high, we're gonna tarp it, put it down, and we're gonna head home. All right, I'm just getting the bales off the trailer. This is kind of where we're putting them so far. That there is the nesting area, the laying area, and then that behind it is the run. So I'm just stacking 3 high all the way around, just to keep it secure. In the winter, keep the heat in the summer, keep the cool in. It was a good run. It ran great, didn't have any problems coming home. So pretty fresh straw. The fellow that we got it from is just building a house and he needs to get the straw out of there, so I'm going to take advantage of that.
We have a new kind of chicken. Can you see it? Just showed up overnight. Blends in so well. I'm trying to find it on my screen. Oh, there it is. Let's see how close I can get to it. Pretty close. Oh, he's running off. See you later, guy. So we've started fermenting the chicken feed. And so this one here has been, this is day 3, I think, on this one. And you're supposed to do it for at least 2 to 3 days for max. So I have this one. This will be what I feed to them the next 2 days. And then this one I haven't started yet. This is just fresh grain. And I have a little bit of fluid in there, starter, from one of the previous buckets. And I just have to add some water so that it covers, and then you stir it a couple times a day. And the starter just helps because it's already fermented. It helps the fermentation produce more fermentation faster. So because it's already, you can see some of the bubbles in there, and that's already fermented, and this one is as well. So I keep it covered and I just leave it out here outside for 2 to 3 days and then switch it up. So this one I'll use tomorrow and the next day, because I double the batch. I don't have as many layers. And then I'll use this for 2 days, and then this one should be ready to use. And then I'll start a new one from this empty bucket. So I just added water. This is all covered. Give it a good stir. And as I said, stir it a couple times a day. And you'll see some of the moisture getting soaked up. So then you just have to add more water. But while we're here, can you see my cauliflower growing inside there? I can't harden off yet because it's still getting below 0 at night. but I'm not seeing anything else popping up in my other ones. So Charlie and I are out for a bit of a walk just around our property. Got to wear off some energy here. We picked up the meat birds, and sorry, he's just pulling. He has so much energy right now as he is used to birds being outside, not being inside. And we have to keep these little guys inside to keep them warm. This is what I deal with. He just pulls everywhere, and I know he's smelling rabbits. The cats are investigating, but he just is trying to get at them because he's the only time we've ever really had a bird in the house is if they got into the wood stove, and that's just all he's dealt with. So that is definitely not the kind of birds we have, and he's trying to get at them, and he's pulling and being a bit ridiculous. So hopefully we can get some of this energy worn off. And here, now that the snow has melted, I see there's a bunch of fern, so we'll be able to harvest some fiddleheads here soon, hopefully. That's very exciting. There's a lot of fern here. Anyways, I will show you the chickens when we get back from our walk, after we wear off some of this energy. So Charlie found a friend, and this poor little thing is stuck in our garden. And he's barking at it. Can you find your way out? You found your way in. You know, it won't come back, Charlie. We want it to come back. So, usually when you pick up chicks, you have a heat light and all these lovely things, but because we're off grid, we are trying some other ways of keeping these babies warm. So they're right beside the wood stove, and we actually have 2 hot water bottles in there with them. The one hot water bottle is right underneath them, and the other one is right beside them. So we have them in a box, and I will lift that up. They'll probably start peeping. Just have Charlie here. Rod's gone out to put the chickens in, so just open this up, and we put a towel underneath that, or on top of them and underneath them, just so it kind of feels like a mother hen. So, as you can see, these are our babies, and they're all huddled together. I don't want to disturb them too much, just because they are settling in and finally quiet after they've had some food and some water. So hopefully they'll settle for the night, because Charlie is just going a bit crazy here with them. The cats have actually been pretty good with them. They're curious, but they seem to be, that's about it, just curious with them. But whereas Charlie's more than curious, he actually wants to get in there and catch them. So we'll let them settle for the night, hopefully, and with the wood stove hot, and there's the kettle, so that we can keep these babies warm throughout the nights. Well, they made it through the night. Can't say we did. The dog has been horrible. Had to have him chained to me. But they all made it through the night. And it's very warm in here. We're not used to that. Right now it's 33 degrees in here, so we're on fire. We're exhausted. Good morning. Super tired this morning. And it's so hot inside that we've come outside to have our coffee. Oh, it was such a tough night. This guy, he just really wants to get to those chicks. The cats seem to be good though. Whose idea was this again? All right, we're heading back into the sauna. Hi, Mickey. So the girls have been really good with the chicks. Really good with the chicks. Yeah, Rod and I can't even stand it in here. Made it through the second night, day 2 for our little chickies. A little bit better night for us.
It's Thursday, May 19th, and I just filled up the dry baths again with more dirt and more sawdust, and that white stuff is diatomaceous earth, which helps them get rid of their mites and lice and anything else. So they're loving this, and that's not the popular one, but hopefully this one will be soon. Alright, so what I'm doing here now, I have it basically put together. As you can see, it came into this package, so that is what the crate comes in, chicken crate I guess, and this is what it is put together. Hard to kind of see it. Okay, so that's basically the way it's going to sit. Door on this end, doors on each side, and it's just a matter of making sure this is square now. That's the cross beam there, and I had to switch these around a little bit. They don't all fit, which is not a surprise, but I'll get it all squared up, get everything nice and even, and that should be good. And then what we'll probably do is, see, this here is what holds it in. It holds this together, but it also holds it into the ground. Not very well though. So I'll probably just take some tent pegs or something and pound them and pound this whole thing down so it can't move. For now anyways, I don't know how much we're going to tractor this around, if we're basically going to leave it, and we'll put some straw and bedding inside there. We're just going to experiment. But our 15 meat chickens are still inside. They're still chicks. They're not even flapping their wings yet. But it won't be long. A couple weeks or so, and this will be filled with chickens. This is rated for 50 chickens. That's a lot of chickens for here. We have 15, and that will be just perfect. And everybody else will be able to visit them when they come out in the run. And also have some stuff to put on there for the sun. But I'll be able to tarp it and do whatever I have to. Kind of a partly cloudy day, but things are drying up.
Rod's been out here twice to lay this cardboard down for our no-dig garden, and we laid it down because we were expecting rain, and then it didn't rain. So we had a bit of a wind and it blew the cardboard all over the place, and especially because it didn't rain, it blew it even more. So then Rod came back out and laid it down again, and it did rain, but then we still didn't put the compost on it to lay it right down. And so here we are. I am going to fix it up again and get my butt at this garden so we can get it ready so that once we can finally plant, we will be planting. Today. It's been a few hours, so we laid down more overlapping cardboard and made sure all the tape was off of it. We laid down some wood chips, kind of sawdust I get from work, and then the compost pile from us removing the manure and litter from the coop. So it's not hugely broken down, but my concept is that you can grow things in a straw bale. So I have a feeling I'm going to be able to still grow things in this type of compost. We will have to get more compost because our small compost pile will not do probably all of this garden, and realizing how ambitious we actually were when it came to doubling this space, that will be something that we work on, but it won't be something we plant in this year. Just because we have this to complete and get seeded and planted, and then we also have all that area back there to clean up so that we can get the tunnel set up and start utilizing that as well. So this year is going to be working for next year, and that's fine. That's usually how you get started, is you start off with a little bit and you keep going, just like we are with chickens. This year, we're just starting out with laying hens and 15 meat birds. So far, they're still alive. It's been 2 days that we have had them. We picked them up on Tuesday. Today's Thursday, the 19th of May. And they're still doing really well. We do not have a heat lamp on them. We are running the wood stove, and they're in a tote right beside. We have a hot water bottle in there with them that we are reheating every 4 hours. So it seems to be well. Actually, they are sometimes coming off of the hot water bottle because we also have it really in that corner where the wood stove is. So that means it could be a little bit too warm for them. So it seems to be working quite well. We would like to have gotten ducklings this year, but again, that is something that we're probably gonna do for next year, or maybe even later in the season. But for now, this is what we want to do. We don't want to overwhelm ourselves this year and then have regrets. And sometimes when animals are involved, that means that sometimes they suffer, and we don't want that to be part of our experience in homesteading. So we'll work away little bit by little bit and not get too ambitious. So the section that we want to have doubled, which is over this area here, we will work at, as I said, we have some earth that was left here that is actually what was used underneath this last year, and it wasn't screened soil, so there was a few weeds coming up, so that's why we're trying this year. I've never tried this concept of no-till or no-dig, and all the research that I've done has actually shown really, really successful for keeping the weeds down and having a really good crop. So we'll give it a try and we'll see what happens.
Who's got the worm? Leave me alone, she says.
End of day 3 with these critters, and they're growing already. I can't believe how fast they're growing, and they're doing really, really well. We haven't lost one, and still no heat lamp. It's still warm in here, but we've actually decreased it. It's actually 26 degrees right here right now, but I put a fresh hot water bottle underneath them, and a lot of times they're actually too hot. They're going off the hot water bottle, so I don't know. I'm just glad it is successful. And sometimes I have a hard time jumping up. The newspaper tends to be a bit slippery for them. All in all, so far, it's a success.
Even though it's getting really busy at Tiny Foot Acres, we can't lose sight of what really brought us here. Homesteading and having animals has been always something that Liz and I have dreamt about. And if it's not just our chickens, but it's the wildlife, just looking at everything is just such a blessing. If this doesn't make you realize life's too short, I don't know what will. Take any adventure that you can. We did. It's absolutely amazing.